So I'm trying to like decenter men and like take a break from dating right now, which is so annoying. I like see people talk about that, like decentering men from your life, and I'm like, lame, boring. I don't want to do that, but here I am doing it. Really, this is because my therapist told me that she doesn't think that I should be dating anyone right now because I'm like mentally unstable or something. And not in the sense that like, oh, I'm unhinged and shouldn't inflict myself on another being, but she was just like, you have done like so much work, and you're doing so much work right now, and I don't want that to be derailed by some unhinged man when you could just focus on yourself. So yeah, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm taking a vow to not date anyone right now. It's more like I am taking a break from looking. And let me just tell you, this has been extremely eye-opening. Like, I don't know, you just don't realize how much you think about something or like how much something really controls your life until you try to stop doing it. And I've always been, a lover girl. Like, every song I've ever written is about me being like hopelessly obsessed with someone. And like, I know that I am obsessive and I use like fantasy and like crushes and whatever to like cope with my problems and my anxiety, and just like I use that as like escapism a lot. But I didn't realize like how much my like actions are controlled by the opinions, the like perceived opinions of just men in general. Like, people say like the male gaze or whatever, like, and like I've seen people say that like, oh, women look at themselves through the male gaze, and I like didn't quite understand that, where they're like, even not caring about what men think is a male fantasy, and I'm just like, okay. But I see now, because I'm trying to like just not think about it. I'm trying to like reconvert that space in my mind. Like, if it was like my attic, trying to convert my attic into a bedroom, I'm trying to like redesign the space. But it's like, when I leave my house, I'm like, oh, like, what if I see some hottie? Like, how do I look and how should I look based on that possibility? And even like just the way that I walk in public, I notice this. I'm like, oh, I need to like look nice and approachable in case there's a man that wants to approach me. But I don't want to look nice and approachable. I just want to walk. And sometimes I'm mad or sad. I don't want to walk around like so mindful, so demure. And even making this video, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, because then what if someone who wants to date me watches it and then thinks that I don't want to talk to them? And I think about that with everything that I post. I think about like a guy watching it, random men that I know, what would they think? Even though realistically they're definitely not watching my TikTok. But yeah, and then it's like I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, there's like a cute guy, and I want to like look at him and like make eye contact, like have that moment. Or I'm like looking for if there is someone I could have like that little moment with, like living for the thrill, living for the rush. So it's just really made me think about like, what do I actually want to do? How do I want to present myself? And like, yeah, thinking about that, it's not really that different than how I would present myself, like thinking about men, but like the intention is so different, and like my view of myself is so different. My experience just like going through life is so different. So yeah, I'm not really like, oh, I can't speak to any man right now, because my therapist, she said that I like to go to extremes, which is true. And she was like, if a stable man approaches you, pursues you, like, sure, if he's stable, but I have to stop approaching them or pursuing them, because that's my real problem. Because basically all I've really done for the last years of my life is kind of like pursue guys that don't end up wanting to be serious with me. So I clearly just don't have the eye. I don't have the radar for like a serious man. So I need to stop looking, because apparently I can't see anyway. And you know, a serious man would probably be able to see me. I don't have to see him. And he could actually like maybe like put in some effort. Yeah, I'm setting myself free from the chains and thinking about my own life. Like my own goals, hobbies, whatever. Like, oh, it's so much more boring. But it's good though. I feel like my eyes have been opened. I do feel set free. And I think why this is so hard for me and for other people in the same boat as me is because like I've really just used like romantic fantasy as such an escape from my actual problems. So it's hard to actually deal with what's actually happening and how I'm actually feeling, and not be able to just like dissociate into an alternate reality. And like ultimately I want to be with someone that doesn't want me to act like this perfect pleasing girl to the male gaze. Like I want to be with someone that likes me just being a person and not having my entire life consumed by them and the opinions of men. So